Hello world, welcome back to Accelerate and welcome back to my EJ2 Honda Civic Coupe project. Today we're going to be removing these old wheels and fitting some nice new ones, and hopefully we'll get some other bits on as well. You would have seen from the previous video, I sort of impulse bought these seats to go in the coupe. I wanted reclining ones and wasn't really sure what to go with, and then Stu at Bristol Motorworks was selling these for a ridiculously cheap price, so I snatched them up. I do want to try and test fit them today because we need to do a deep clean on the interior. And then in the video before that, you would have seen the very exciting news that we've gone B20 block with a B18 VTEC head, or what's commonly known as a B20 VTEC swap with an S9B LSD. We are going to be installing that ourselves in a future video. But today, I think I want to start with something that's really annoyed me. I know it's very period correct, but I want to get rid of this steering wheel. Now, if the car did have an airbag, the first step would be to disconnect the battery, leave it for a bit to let all the power discharge. And although this says airbag on it just there, this factory didn't come with an airbag, so someone's obviously replaced it and put this one in there. So what we're going to do, it is already loose, and just to absolutely double triple check as I get paranoid, that is the airbag plug there, so we know there's no power going to it. So what we're going to do is grab what's left of my T30, and hope this works, but we've got a T30 Torx bit. And if we look, there's usually plastic covers on there. So we've got two little bolts there we need to get to. And then that should release the center section of the steering wheel that houses the airbag. And the beauty of this is, because it never came with an airbag, MOT wise, everything like that, it doesn't matter if aftermarket steering wheel it doesn't have to have an airbag. There's one. And because I'm feeling lazy, we'll strip it around there. And the other one there, this works a lot better if your tools are not broken. I just thought if you have tuned in just to see the wheels, you can skip to this part of the video if you want to see the reveal. If you want to stick with me, I really appreciate it. It's mad, if you're joining me for the first time, I've also got an EJ9 hatch. One thing I love about these ones, indicators on the right hand side, which is a bit nuts. So 2 bolts out. This still gets me a bit nervous. Airbag section comes out there, and as you can see, there is no plug for it to plug into, so we know this didn't have an airbag from the factory. We need to get that one there. Looks like a 19 perhaps. Literally pull this off and this should reveal the spline. And I'll show you the boss kit. And we've got a couple of steering wheels to choose from. I think I know which one I want to go for, but we'll run through that as well. Because we've got a lot to do today, you can use hand tools on this, and that's what I usually do. But I've got my big gun with me, so we're going to use this. And literally, I love power tools. So, little tip. If this hasn't come off before, it could be stuck on there pretty tight, and believe me, I have had battles with these things. Little tip, put it on a few threads so you've got a bit of movement, a little play just there. And then, this is very easy. This obviously hasn't been on too long. And this part is essential. Make sure your steering wheel is straight when it comes off, because trust me, it will drive you nuts if you're anything like me. When you're driving around and it's not center, this does need an alignment anyway, but that's why I love old Jap cars. Look how simple this is. And of course, to fit an aftermarket steering wheel, you're going to need, this is what's known as a boss kit, and it's basically an adapter for this spindle to fit onto a number of universal steering wheels. And very straightforward, particularly with these older ones, and particularly when you haven't got an airbag light to worry about. This essentially slots onto there. I forget where these go. In there, I always forget which way around. Yeah, something along those lines. Anyway, the main thing is, I know the 92 to 95 and the EJ2s have got different splines. Please be right. Yes! Right, that's a relief. That is a relief. But what I am going to do is pop some copper slip on there to stop happening what I said before, because they do get seized on there otherwise. So I'm literally just going to put a little slithering around there. Make sure you don't disturb your clock spring just there. That is the tab for your horn there as well, which we should hopefully be able to sort. So the first option I had for steering wheels, I've actually run this on my MX-5. I just really liked the colour at the time. So we've got that one there, which is cool and is an option. We've also got this, which I think this is the one I bought for the Turbo MX-5. Hence why it's still on the wrapper, because that car hasn't seen the road since I bought it. Nice sort of wannabe Alcantara on there. Very simple with the flat bottom. And this is when I got carried away and bought another one for the MX-5 that I've never driven. This one I really like. It obviously goes with the whole red and yellow theme to go with the red seats. That would look beautiful in the Civic, actually. None of the above, because I actually really like the steering wheel that was in this hatch. The feel of it is lovely, so I think I want to try and put that in there. I think that is going to look beautiful in here. It's a lot smaller than the standard one as well. So what we're going to do is remove these bolts there, reuse them for the new hub. And I think they're different. Yeah, definitely different. Yeah, so yeah, let's remove this. And just like that, you don't want to lose these, which I'm very good at doing. So I'm going to put them down by there, and just like that, obviously disconnect the horn button and make sure I don't get those mixed up. So this should be a very simple case of... So again, one tip, these usually come with these cheap universal ones. There's 2 different size holes, obviously to fit different types of steering wheels. So you want to figure out which one yours is, the inner or the outer. So we know that one is the inner. So you want to make sure that one there is pointing up. So that's going to be the center of your steering wheel. Ooh, whoopsie, that's not supposed to happen. I'll set that in a minute. So yeah, that is on there, and then we just simply do the nut up. Make sure that tab, the metal tab at the back, should be making contact with that. That is your horn. So let's see. Oh, that took longer than I care to admit. That is on there, so then we want to grab our nuts, and now be careful doing this. I use these guns all the time, so I know how to be careful. You don't want to just go ugga-dugger in until the thing snaps. What I will do is sort of check the torque with a ratchet now. It's hard without the steering wheel on there because you can't get leverage. You can put the steering lock on to go against it, but they haven't got to be mega tight anyway. Ah, I've just knocked it off again. That thing's really annoying me. There is a knack to it. What am I going to do now? I don't even know what that's for. Right, so I'm going to take a wild guess and I would say I don't even need that. I don't usually run them anyway. Horn button on. Right, I want to see if the horn works, but annoyingly, the horn never worked on this car because it wasn't linked up, so I don't know if the horn's buggered or... God damn it. What is it with me and cars with no horns? And there it is. That is how you install an aftermarket steering wheel on an old Civic anyway. This is... Oh no, I think... There we are. On an old Civic, it is that simple. Most older cars are the same. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Very, very happy with that. So these are the wheels that came on the coupe. I actually quite like the design of them, but they are very, very pitted, as you can see. And I just don't think they suit sort of the bigger dimensions of the coupe. So as nice as they are, it gets to go for now. And as you can see, these tyres have definitely seen better days. But the new wheels, I think, are very much going to suit it. So the wheels I really wanted to put on there were the rotor grids just up there. Unfortunately, I did test fit them. The offset is a bit too aggressive. 15x8s are a bit of a push on this generation of Civic anyway. Maybe one day, if I look into adjustable camber arms or maybe run a thinner tyre, we can look into it. The black ones there were another option because for those joining us for the first time, I have got some MX-5s as well, all 4x100, so you'd think I could switch and change them, but the offsets are very different. So yeah, a bit gutted about that, and I did want to try the funky ones we've got on the MX-5 out there, but once again, same dimensions as that, same offset, so unfortunately they won't fit for now. But here are the ones I've gone for. Very dramatic. Boom! There she is! Yes, you will, well, the eagle-eyed among you will notice, you may have seen these wheels before. These are the wheels off the hatch, and at the moment, so basically end goal, I want to go 16-inch wheels on this because as nice as this sits, and as Georgia pointed out, we've really noticed now the front end is lower than, yeah, a lot lower than the rear. But for now, I just think these look a lot cleaner. They're in much better condition than the wheels that were on there. And I did just chuck a bucket of water on it, and it does look like a completely different car. And very exciting, a video coming up soon, thanks to Scott at Phoenix Detailing. I've never polished anything in my life, so he's going to give me some tips and shout at me when I do it wrong, and this is going to be our test subject. So that'll be interesting as well, but these are the wheels I could not wait to get on, and I think you guys will agree, it just looks cleaner. And I, at the moment, am over the moon with it. I think it looks a lot better than it did, but like I said, 16-inch wheels are in the pipeline. If you made it to this point in the video, you deserve a sneak peek. Yep, I've already impulse bought a set of 16s, and I will be doing a video on refurbishing them eventually. The colour's even really grown on me. I do like this colour, and it's very, me and George were saying, it's very 90s Honda. But yes, it is going to change eventually. Some more interesting bits in the boot. That wheel that unfortunately doesn't fit. Gutted about that. Obviously spare, that's not that exciting. Some of the bits in here I do want to fit today as well. So hopefully we'll get time to do that. More importantly, as well as modifying, we are fixing this car because the eagle-eyed among you will have noticed the mismatched coloured wing. And again, for those that don't know, there's another project just there, and George's project over there. As you can see, it is a bit messy. Like I said, I've purposely left it a bit bogging because I do want to see the transformation over there as well. And I do need, because I keep forgetting, to order a set of car mats. Apart from that, it is relatively clean. First of all, we're going to get this seat out so we can clean underneath and test fit the red ones. So again, the beauty of the simplicity of Civics of this generation is 4 bolts. There's not even any wiring. Oh my god. That's awkward. I don't think it's the same. No, it's really not. Some poor soul's lost. Missing the Honda key. I will contact the previous owner. Anyway, we should now be able to. So what I want to do first of all is see what we're dealing with for the rails, because as I said in the previous video, those seats are actually on Corsa D rails. So I'm wondering... Poopy, that's not good. So it bolts onto the side there. They are bottom mount seats, so I really don't think this is going to work. I'll do a bit more research. Worst case, we are going to have to buy the subframes for the seats. Not the end of the world, but it's a lot more money. And I don't like spending money. So I think, just to see how it's going to look, I do want to just pop a seat in here just to see what the colour and everything works like for now. I gotta say, the colour looks crap. It's not, doesn't look ideal. Like I said, the car is not going to stay this colour, so maybe eventually when we do change the colour, it'll look better. But I have got one of these in black, brand new in a box over there. Style-wise, I quite like. It's not bolted in at all, so I'll see if I can squeeze my scrawny behind in here. I'm sat on the floor now. Oh, okay. I really like this. In case you didn't hear that, guys, Georgia just said it looks like when you jump in your dad's car and you're a kid and you want to pretend to drive and you go meow. Like, comfort-wise, I've got the BB5s and my MX5, so they're the fixed back. These are the reclining ones, and the comfort is very, very snug there and there, but you have got the ability to just relax a bit. That is the real reveal on the coupe, and my promise of bringing you more EJ2 coupe content. We have got a lot more stuff to do, as you saw. We got body panels to go on. There's a few other modifications to go on. But yeah, I think that'll do it for now. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you.